Welcome back here. Yeah, man, the view's getting out of hand here. SUNNY Houston, the view pull off set after aggressive fight with RFK Jr.'s wife erupted about Trump. So let's get into this, shall we?
What's up, squad? Back with another video. I seen the titles going out. Make sure y'all to like and hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it in the title. Before we get in this video, definitely want to say big thanks to y'all. You know, sharing these videos, liking these videos, and doing what y'all can. You know, it's definitely amazing. I definitely love it. I'm not even gonna lie, I definitely love it. I try to get to everybody comment, but when I tell y'all, it's a lot of comments. Probably get around from 5 to 10,000 comments every 28 days or so, or like it had the last 28 days, I guess. So I try to get to everybody's comment. I'm not even gonna lie. It's a lot of comments. I've always been like that ever since I started doing YouTube, is to try to comment back to everybody. And on top of that, I feel like it's so many other YouTubers, influencers, you know, that don't really engage with their, you know, subscribers, their fans, you know, or anything like that. And I try to do that. You know, I definitely try to do that. I feel like it's something that, you know, is needed, not only for myself but from others. But y'all have it here. RFK Jr. says Tylenol isn't just linked to autism, but also ADHD and liver, you know, in the kids. So, one thing about it is that, you know, this is information that we obviously need to have. No matter, you know, who has to say about this or what, you know, somebody has to say about that. This is information that I love to see, you know, because I feel like a lot of this stuff is, you know, it's hidden. You know, it's definitely hidden. I've never been a person. Well, I ain't gonna say never, but I would definitely say, in the last, really like, almost like the last 7-8 years, I haven't been really like a medicine person unless I really have to take medicine. Even with, you know, my family, you know, it's try to look at that, you know, that home remedy. You know, you always look up and try to see, but. This is definitely something that, you know, want to check out before, you know, we get into, you know, what the View had to say, you know, what RFK Jr. Wife had to say on the View today, or yes, it was yesterday, I'm pretty sure. But check it out.
Important findings from our autism work that are vital for parents to know as they make these decisions. First, HHS will act on acetaminophen. The FDA is responding to clinical and laboratory studies that suggest potential association between acetaminophen use during pregnancy and adverse neurodevelopmental outcomes, including later diagnosis for ADHD and autism. Scientists have proposed biological mechanisms linking prenatal acetaminophen exposure to altered brain development. We have also evaluated the contrary studies that show no association. Today, the FDA will issue a physician's notice of the risk of acetaminophen during pregnancy and begin the process to initiate a safety label change. HHS will launch a nationwide public service campaign to inform families and protect public health. FDA also recognized that acetaminophen is often the only tool for feverish pain in pregnancy, as other alternatives have well-documented adverse effects. HHS wants, therefore, to encourage clinicians to exercise their best judgment and use of acetaminophen for fevers and pain in pregnancy by prescribing the lowest effective dose for the shortest necessary duration and only when treatment is required. Furthermore, thanks to also the politicization of science, the safety of acetaminophen against the risk of neurodevelopmental disorders in young children has never been validated. Prudent medicine, therefore, suggests caution in acetaminophen use by young children, especially since strong evidence also has associated with liver toxicity. Some studies have also found that use of acetaminophen in children can potentially prolong viral illnesses. FDA will drive new research to safeguard mothers, children, and families. In addition to a possible acetaminophen connection to autism for pregnant women, infants, and toddlers, our research has revealed that folate deficiency in a child's brain can lead to autism.
So my thing is like, I find it insane that people, you know, would and my thing is that you have something like this, you know, you have people in the comments, oh, I don't believe it. Who is RFK Jr. to say this? Who is it? You know, if they're if they're studying this and they're finding these different things, these indications, you know, that this can lead to this can, I feel like that's something that, you know, and I've always, you know, I've always said that, you know, to my family a lot, you know, that, you know, I said to Chris, you know, and I'd be like, that medicine, like having medicine, it you know, that leads to other things, you know, so try to take it, you know, if you really need to get a girl's medicine and give, you know, the girl's medicine, if you really need to take medicine, but if not, don't take medicine. You know, when you go to the hospital, I don't know if y'all know, but when you go to the hospital, you know, she'll have.
My point is just right here is the view is so evil, so disgusted, so filled with hate and rage that Donald Trump went and became president because they was all buddy with Trump when he was not president. When he became president and ran and got presidency, they turned against him. They rather have him as not a president who making money because they know he's a business guy, so he's going to do business and help the country out, and they don't like that shit. And they so full with hate and rage about what him become president because he actually went toe to toe with Obama, not once but twice, and everything. They don't like that shit. It pisses them off that they get made like a fool. But back to the video, shall we?
Have, you know, a sickness, and like you just gotta let it run its course. You know, and as long as it's not getting too bad, you know, you obviously you want to watch that fever, you want to watch this, you want to watch that. But a lot of times, you know, you go to the hospital and they'll tell you, you know, either, you know, give them this medicine, help with the symptoms, or, you know, let it run its course. And a lot of times, you know, you do that. You find that home remedy. There's things you can do, you know, cut up some oranges and some lemons and all that, and, you know, boil that, get that stuff going. You know what I mean? Make some tea, take a hot shower. They have those tablets. Those Vicks tablets. We get Vicks tablets, we get Vicks tissues, we get, you know, those different things. You know, it's other things that you definitely can do, you know, or if you know, you a person, you know, somewhat, you know, like me, there's a lot of things that I do, you know, when I figure it out at home. There's a lot of things, you know, when it comes to, let's say, migraines, you know, they'll be quick to, you know, take this. No, just get you some caffeine. I had a neurologist. And I get migraines about once or twice, you know, out of the month. I get bad migraines. My mom has a history of it, you know, in my family. And I know y'all do, you know, I've talked about it before. I've actually did videos, you know, with migraines, which is crazy. But, and they told you, you know, they have it. You know, I don't know if y'all know what Excedrin is, but Excedrin has caffeine in it. And, you know, it helps, you know, obviously, I think it loosens up the nerves or something like that. But I'm not at all good at this stuff and talking like this, but I promise y'all. You take some caffeine, get some dark chocolate, get some coffee or something, a Coke, you know, not literally the drink. You know, I gotta watch what I say on here. But get that, you know, and get some caffeine in you, and it kind of helps that. Or if you don't want to eat anything, you don't want to drink anything, you can always, you know, get you one of those things. They have these little tubs you can put your feet in. You know, they got them at Walmart or your, you know, grocery store. At about $20-$25, you can set your feet in there, or just sat in the bathtub. You ain't trying to spend money. So there's other ways that you can like go about, you know, and that's just headaches and migraines, but it's a lot. This Cheryl Hines says she's incredibly proud of her husband RFK Jr. I did not know that, you know, I don't know if y'all, one of my favorite movies is RV, and when I seen her talk on The View, and I was like, why does she seem so familiar? She sounds like this lady from the RV, and then lo and behold, you know, it's her from RV. But and I'm telling y'all, that's definitely one of my favorite movies. But I seen, you know, her on The View and seen how it was. I'm gonna show y'all some clips. But before we do this is her on Fox News on RFK Jr. Check it out.
And it is so amazing to have Bobby leading this Maha movement where you're watching some of the things that he's accomplished, like getting rid of petroleum-based dyes in food, getting rid of ingredients in our food that other countries don't allow. Looking at baby formula and getting rid of the arsenic and the lead that's in it. So when you see some of these accomplishments, it just, first of all, you wonder why it's all like this to begin with. But second of all, I'm really proud that Bobby's the person leading the charge.
Well, you should be, because it's a very important charge.
Yeah. I think it's so amazing to have Bobby.
And this is one thing about it is that I definitely love the fact, that you have her on here, and being proud, speaking highly, of her husband. And me personally, I love the simple fact that, we actually have people that are in Trump administration that are doing things that, we need to see, things that we need, to pay attention to, that we didn't see when, with the Biden-Harris, White House. So it's definitely, I'm telling y'all, definitely pretty amazing. So you got to hear RFK Jr.'s wife, Cheryl Hines, appeared on The View to try and plug her upcoming memoir, but the host decided to use her visit to criticize her husband and the Maha movement. So check it out.
HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s wife, Cheryl Hines, appeared on The View yesterday to try to plug her upcoming memoir. But the host decided to use her visit to criticize her husband and the Maha movement. Cheryl Hines refused to let the attack slide.
I'm telling y'all. So she refused to let them, slide. Obviously, I ain't gonna. She did what she.
Yeah, you tried. Instead of you coming on there and talking about her accomplishments and everything, they try to use their platform to basically bash R. Kennedy and Trump. And R. Kennedy's wife was not gonna have that shit. This is the kind of shit that I've been telling a lot of people who watch The View, who supports The View, and who support the Democrat Party. The View are the hound dogs of the Democrat Party. If you don't go with the Democrat Party and you're a famous person, The View will hound you. They talk shit about you, bash you, try to get your career ruined, get your book deals canceled, your CDs, all that shit you got making money for yourself. They try to ruin it for you. Because they feel hate. Whoopi Goldberg is racist as fuck. There's some videos you can see her, she actually show her true self. The Rascal was one video. She showed herself true nature. Ghost was another one. She played it off in that video, but you can see she's being racist as fuck. And everything. She really didn't like playing any videos with any, right, because Whoopi is racist as fuck as shit. She don't hide it. Sunny, she's racist as fuck anyway, because she's the great granddaughter of a fucking big ass Confederate slave owner. Way back then. Yeah, look her name up. You see what I'm saying about it. But The View are full of shit. They're a bunch of failed women who are grasping at straws to try to keep themselves afloat because they want that money. Because they live, like, their living means that they can't support themselves. So they want to bash people, talk shit about people, drag people's names through the mud. When Trump was not president, they was kissing his ass. Look it up. Look at the videos before he became president. How much they liked him. How much they loved him. Had him on the show, talking all the shit with him. But when he decided to run for president. No. You're racist. You're a racist person. You're a dictator. Well, you're not running for president. Kissing that fucking ass. Dropping on the knees trying to get some from him. So yeah. If he was so fucked up right there, man. But anyway, back to the video. Which I was gonna say, gotta give props to Kennedy's wife, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s wife, for standing up to them and defending his honor and Trump's honor. So yeah.
Did what she needs to do. And she and one thing, and I haven't watched all these clips, but what I do know from seeing the small clips is that she handled it very amazing. She handled it great. I know a lot of people was in the comments saying, oh, I would have acted differently, I would have did this, I would have did that. But the way that she handled the situation, from what I saw with the the few seconds that I saw, she handled it pretty well. But it says here, an embarrassing moment for the View's Whoopi Goldberg when she tries, to how Whoopi did, tries to sit there and talk crazy, about individuals, and then she found the right one. Cheryl Hines definitely said something. Back. Check it out.
Your husband, when he announced basically that he believed he found some causal links between autism and Tylenol, it created a lot of panic in women who were being told by their OBGYNs who look at them that Tylenol, if necessary to treat pain during pregnancy, is safe. What would you say, and I know you're not a medical professional, but to women who now feel anxious and nervous because their doctor's telling them one thing, but the top public health professional is telling them something very different?
Well, they said consult your doctor before taking it. That's what they were saying, and that holds. So I agree. Listen, I've been pregnant. I understand it's stressful being pregnant. I found, because you're so concerned with everything. I didn't drink caffeine when I was pregnant.
Yeah.
So
they tell you what, caffeine. They tell you what, seafood and stuff like that. Chris had to go through that same thing. And she had to, I think it was one coffee a day. Not a lot of seafood. Sandwich meat was one of them. There's a lot of things, that you can't do. And it's so many questions that you ask, because you'll have a person of your family, telling you one thing because how they grew up. And then you'll have a doctor telling you one thing, and then you'll literally have, so it becomes stressful. Not knowing that, you're obviously probably not going to listen to that family member. Or if you do, you listen to them because that's your mom or your grandma and that's how they was raised, or, you listen to a doctor. So it is stressful on top of being pregnant. So obviously I'm a man, so I don't really know too much, but I can just about imagine that it can become very stressful.
say, hey, consult your doctor before you take this. I agree with that, and I think that's okay for moms to hear.
Cheryl?
Yeah, go ahead.
Now,
all right.
I am. This is not your fight, really, to be fighting.
No.
This is your husband's fight.
Thank you for acknowledging that. But go ahead. But here, what we're talking about.
I do want to say, he's not a doctor and he's not a professional.
Yes.
And oftentimes when he's speaking.
Okay, let me say this. I'm going to say this and I'm going to let the video play. Maybe. My thing is, I've said this before, and I wasn't trying to make this a long video, of course, but it looks like it's going to have to be that way. My thing is that this show is full of women. You would think, regardless, it doesn't matter, if you get, obviously y'all see somebody, within the Trump administration, their wife is up here, and they down talk her. I find it completely insane. I find it completely messed up, that they have an individual, on their show, and they get here and they down talk her. Y'all are a group of women. Regardless, that's one of the things, that you want to uplift. They've said it themselves. Uplift each other. I find it amazing when I see women of, and I don't always put race on, but women of all, all races, I love to see that. To uplift one another, to be there, to actually talk, to have that, because I feel like it's very important. Me personally, I definitely feel like it's important. I always feel like it's important, in general, just for people, to come together. But one thing about women, you got a lot of women on this show, and they down talking her, and down talking her husband, saying that, this isn't, your argument, but you literally sit here and you ask her a question. Of course, because if somebody has said something about their husband, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to defend. That's what you're supposed to do. Me personally, that's how I was raised. That's what you do. And on top of that, these are things that she said that's right. These are facts. But then you have Whoopi getting the crowd hype, to down talk, this woman's husband, and that's something that's definitely wrong and sickening, coming out of her mouth.
Oftentimes when he's speaking, he is speaking not with the best information that we can get, because we could do a lot better with health stuff, and there's a lot of stuff he can do, and some of the things he's suggested, take it out of the hands of my doctor and me and my OBGYN and me. And I wonder, does it give you pause, and are you able to say, that might not actually be so, because I've got my experience and I've lived with this and I'm still here. So are you able to have those conversations with him?
I am able to have those conversations. And just to be clear, 90% of secretaries of HHS have not been doctors.
But they've had a science
There have been
background.
3.
Yeah.
No, to be honest, one of Obama's secretaries at HHS was an economist.
But
So
the majority of them that haven't had medical backgrounds have
Oh,
had
wait,
science
Wait,
backgrounds.
don't
which
do
our
anything
husband
else.
doesn't have either.
Don't say anything else yet.
because I do
we
want
have
to.
to.
So then Whoopi goes and cuts her off because Sonny and her little I be trying to watch what I say on here, y'all. I feel like this face right here that's coming from Sonny is probably the most. I feel like this right here is the face that pisses me off about Sonny right here. She does this when she feels she's right. If y'all watched, I know y'all don't watch the video, but if y'all watch my videos and y'all seen this face, she does this little frown because she thinks she's right and thinks she's telling somebody off, and she's not. You can tell right there, Cheryl Hines, now she get activated. Now she get activated, and she probably knows exactly how Sunny Hostin is. But the fact that she says this, that like they're literally on this show to down talk, this woman's husband. That's something that you just don't do.
There have been 3.
Yeah.
No, to be honest, one of Obama's secretaries at HHS was an economist.
But
So
the majority of them that haven't had medical backgrounds have
Oh,
had
wait,
science
Wait,
backgrounds.
don't
which
do
our
anything
husband
else.
doesn't have either.
Don't say anything else yet.
Because I do
we
want
have to take a break.
Then she said, but your husband doesn't have either. So you mad at a person that's literally doing what others didn't do. Those people that was up under Obama, they didn't do that. I haven't seen it. When they talking about, these medicines and the food dye, I haven't seen it at all. I'm telling y'all, bro. This is absolutely insane to me. Absolutely insane to me. Check it out.
The problem, respectfully, is that your husband is the least qualified Department of Health and Human Services head that we've had in history.
I do not.
think that's a very dangerous.
Why is he less qualified than an economist?
I think
How is that
he
possible?
is less
He
qualified.
spent his career studying toxins, studying people's health, fighting for one guy who was using Roundup for his job.
He has also spread a lot of misinformation, a lot of chaos, a lot of confusion, and I think it's just a very dangerous thing. I say it with.
It's a very dangerous thing for somebody to tell you that something is bad for you. So let me break this down. You would rather take that chance of eating something or drinking something that's possibly bad for you, rather than you listen to somebody to not eat this bad. I mean, we gotta think about it. A lot of these things obviously are, it's medicine, or they're snacks. So you rather you take that chance of you eating something or you drinking.
See, that's where Sonny fucked up right there. You are sitting there bad mouthing her husband, bad mouthing a woman's husband, who's worked for the United States government, who spent most of his whole career studying medicine, helping people out and everything, while your husband, Sonny, is in jail for medical practice, medical fraud, medical practice, and everything. So, RFK Jr. spent his whole entire life studying medicine and stuff like that, and your husband, Sonny, spent his whole entire career scamming people for surgeries they don't need, trying medicine they don't need, and you trying to say that woman's husband not qualified? Do you hear the shit that comes out of your mouth when you speak? Or are you just so full of shit your ass cannot push out, so it gotta come out of your mouth? Which one is it? I think it's opposite too. You're full of shit so much that your ass can't push it out quick enough so it comes out of your mouth. Same thing go for Oprah. Whoopi Goldberg, Oprah, Whoopi Goldberg, who to give a fuck? They're both all loudmouth bitches, in my opinion. So back to the video, shall we?
Rather than listen to somebody who's actually studying this and letting everybody know this stuff is probably, bad. Even if it's, maybe it's not. You're literally going to take that chance to eat or drink that. That's basically what Sunny Hostin is saying right now. But this is all because of the hatred of Donald Trump. This is because of that in the Trump administration. That's all it is. Because let me tell y'all something. If RFK Jr. wasn't up under, wasn't in the Trump administration or anything like that, had anything to do with Trump, I guarantee this conversation would be 10 times different. These are things that they do because they don't like President Trump and they don't like the Trump administration. They don't like nobody has anything to do with Trump, vote for Trump, support Trump, nothing. And these are things that they do. Y'all got this woman on here, this amazing woman, Cheryl Hines, on The View, and y'all sitting here down talking her and her husband. It literally just goes to show you that this show is nothing but putting out hate.
The utmost respect. Some of it's good and some of it's not. That's the point.
Listen, we all have different views.
Yes.
And when you say, misinformation, disinformation, we could go back to COVID when...
He's connecting circumcision to autism.
May I finish?
Please.
When Fauci people were saying when you get the vaccine, you cannot transmit COVID. It will stop COVID. And that was disinformation, misinformation.
We were also still learning about it. It was a novel virus.
Exactly. Okay, so they're literally answering their own arguments. They're literally answering. So Alyssa want to butt in talking about, we're also learning. Okay, just like RFK Jr. is learning. Just like doctors are learning. Doctors are learning. I'm talking about as the days goes. Everybody is learning. So they're literally, you can't sit there and say that it just goes to show you on how man, let me just stop. It's just dumb. You know what I mean?
Now the doctors will acknowledge that.
And Dr. Fauci has a medical
degree. They were censoring Bobby because Bobby said, where's the science to show us this? And there wasn't any, but people attacked him and said, you're wrong. So it's like, let's take a step back. I know that's your opinion and that's okay.
Exactly. That's your opinion and that's okay. That's your opinion, and that's okay. It literally just goes to show you on how hateful these women are. I'm telling y'all. But as y'all see, and y'all let me know y'all comments, thoughts about it, But you literally got here Joy Behar saying that Republicans are afraid